Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe and be part of our family. And before we start with today's topic, please don't forget to like this video, share with others, do subscribe if you are new here, and follow me on Instagram for some extra motivation. You can see my Instagram handle on the screen, and do let me know if there is a topic you want me to cover, if you have any queries, and any feedback is always welcome. Without further ado, let's get started. Hi everybody. So in this video lecture we're going to talk about least privileged principle or principle of least privilege, and I received this request from a subscriber, and so I have included a few examples, and I really hope it's gonna help you understand what this principle of least privilege actually is. So let's get started. So first of all, this principle ought to be used while creating an application, a software, a website, or even when you're working with your code. And there are many parts in your code. There are many sections in your code that have access to, or sometimes these sections have to access certain functions. So you can use this principle to decide which section of the code should be given what kind of access rights. Okay, so we're not only talking about users or users of a system, but we're also talking about programs and functions or sub-programs or sub-functions used inside your code or your program, right? Because when you're working with classes and functions, one function might use variables or functionality of another function, and it can cause security considerations in the long run. Okay, so this principle can be used in those situations, and as its name suggests, principle of least privilege, it gives the idea of allowing minimum privilege, right? Least privilege. It means that for any given application or for any given program or a software that you're working on, the security aspect of this application or program depends on the privilege you assign to various roles. Okay, various roles inside that application. A decent and simple example would be of a table lamp. So the main function of this lamp would be to have the capacity to be turned on and off, and there's no need for it to access applications on your mobile or check your emails, etc., right? So the lamp is provided with least privilege so that it can perform the task it is meant to perform, right? And that is to provide light, right? Similarly, if you're creating a website or an application, a software application, there will be a number of users, and not all of them need to have all levels of access or permissions in the system or in the application. They should be given the rights or permissions necessary to perform their jobs. So if it is someone whose role is to create backups, he or she doesn't have to have the right to install software in the system, right? And principle of least privilege is also related to CIA Triad. It's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, by implementing principle of least privilege, one can ensure CIA, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the system, of data in the system. And the main idea here is to restrict access rights of various users and still allow them to perform their legitimate activities, right? Their genuine activities. Remember the word legitimate here. I mean, if somebody is allowed to perform certain function, they should be allowed to perform those functions only, right? So least privilege. And the reason why operating systems have many default groups is security and implementation of this principle. For example, admin group has the right that guest groups don't have. Journal users have the right that again guests don't have. Okay, and guests are provided a different kind of permissions or different kinds of rights. Not just user profiles or groups, different programs in a system should have the necessary or needed privilege to complete their tasks and nothing more. Okay, so I'm going to finish with this example. And I told you that it's not just about the users or groups, but it's also about the program. So I'm going to give you a very simple example. Why is that? This is because, let's say, a program's task is to generate new user entries, right? And it can also check old records. So if this program is infected, not only the new entries will be infected, but old ones will be infected as well. On the other hand, if it only has, so if we are implementing principle of least privilege and this program only has privilege to make new entries and not check the old records, if this program gets infected, at least old records will stay intact and not they will not be tampered, right? So this is what least privileged principle, or this is what principle of least privilege is all about. I really hope you found this topic, this explanation helpful, and if you still have any doubt, feel free to ask, and I'll see you in the next video lecture with another topic. Till then, take care.